Hey everyone, welcome to the sixth episode of the Bioterminal Classroom with ArduPy. In this episode, I will teach you how to build an ArduPy library for the Grove temperature and humidity sensor based on the DHT11 sensor. So this sensor already has an Arduino library, and I will take that library as a reference and convert that library into an ArduPy library. So you can also use the same techniques that I use in this video to convert your own Arduino library into an ArduPy library. So after completely writing the ArduPy library for the DHT11 sensor, I will build a simple demo to show the temperature and humidity sensor information on the Bioterminal LCD screen. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. You might be thinking writing an ArduPy library for an electronic module is difficult, but in reality it's not. This is because we'll be using the corresponding Arduino library for the electronic module and convert it into an ArduPy library using a set of rules. So here we will take different parts of the code for the Arduino library and convert one by one into a MicroPython form factor, and finally we will have a complete ArduPy library so that we can use the electronic modules with ArduPy on the Bioterminal. So if you are not familiar with ArduPy, you can go back and check the first video of the Bioterminal Classroom with ArduPy video series, and in that video I have explained you about ArduPy and how to easily get started with ArduPy on the Bioterminal. So now let's look at how to find Arduino libraries for the Grove modules offered by Seeed Studio. So let's go to this URL first, and in this GitHub repository you can find all the Arduino libraries offered for the Grove modules. So let's go and check for the temperature and humidity sensor. So this is the Grove temperature and humidity sensor. If you click this, you can find the library for the Grove temperature and humidity sensor. In this video, I will teach you how to write the ArduPy library for the Grove temperature and humidity sensor based on the DHT11 sensor. So this is the Grove temperature and humidity sensor based on DHT11. So if we go back to the library, so even though we write the library for the Grove DHT11 sensor, you can use this library for temperature and humidity sensors based on other DHT sensors and also based on the AM series sensors. So if we go to the dht.h library file, you can see here the temperature and humidity sensors that can be used with this library. So DHT11, 22, 21, 10 and AM2301. So before writing an ArduPy library for an electronic module, it's better to test the corresponding Arduino library. So in this case, we will check the dht.h library with the DHT11 sensor connected with the Bioterminal. So let's go back to the library and download this as a zip file. Open Arduino, select Sketch, Include Library and Add.zip library, and point to the location where you just downloaded the library. Select it and click Open. And now you have successfully installed this library on the Arduino IDE. Now connect the Bioterminal to the PC and turn it on. After that, connect the DHT11 sensor to the Grove digital port on the Bioterminal. Now open Arduino and go to File, Examples and Grove temperature and humidity sensor and select DHT tester. So here change the DHT pin to 0 because we have connected to the D0 pin of the Bioterminal. And here I will uncomment this and comment this because we are using the DHT11 sensor. Now let's go ahead and upload this code to the Bioterminal. Now open Serial Monitor and you will see the temperature and humidity information displayed on the serial monitor. So this means this Arduino library is functioning properly. Now we have confirmed that the Arduino library for DHT11 is working. So next, let's go ahead and write its ArduPy library. So before writing the ArduPy library, I will briefly explain about the basic ArduPy library structure. And for this, I will take the Grove temperature and humidity and barometer sensor as an example. So let's go ahead to this link first. And this is the repository of the ArduPy library for BME280 sensor. So here you can see there are 7 different files. So I will briefly introduce each and every file now. So this first file, which is .gitignore, will specify intentionally untracked files to ignore for Git. And .travis.yml contains the CI test files. This includes the license of the library, and the readme.md contains the readme document. So for this case, for BME280, if you look at the readme file, you can see first there's an introduction for the sensor and how to bind with ArduPy and the basic usage with ArduPy along with API reference. Next is the library.json file, which is the ArduPy JSON file for the library, and then is the mod ArduPy BME280.c, which is the core code that converts C to MicroPython. And finally is the wrapper ArduPy BME280.c++ file, which is the wrapper for this code. This also helps in converting C to MicroPython. Even though there are 7 different files here, if you are writing this as your own ArduPy library, you only need these last 3 files, which is the ArduPy JSON file and the mod.c file and the wrapper.c++ file. However, it's better if you include the license of the library and the README document to make this library more user-friendly. So now let's write the first file, which is the library.json file. So this JSON file will be used to locate the dependent Arduino library for the ArduPy library. Navigate anywhere on your computer and create a new folder and name it as seed ArduPy DHT11. After that, open Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So I have explained to you in the first video of the Bioterminal Classroom with ArduPy video series on how to install and set up Microsoft Visual Studio Code on the computer. So you can go back to that video first to install Microsoft Visual Studio Code if you don't have already. Now go to File and select New File and go to File again, Save, and navigate to the location where you just created a new folder. Go into that folder and type here library, and in here save as type, select JSON and click Save. Now let's start writing the codes. So open a curly bracket and type the following codes, and here should be the name of the ArduPy library. So the format I will use here will be seed ArduPy and the module name, which is DHT in this case. And this will be the URL of the ArduPy library. So we will keep this empty for now because we can only get the GitHub URL once we have uploaded all these files to GitHub. So this will be the name of the dependent Arduino library. So it will take the format seed Arduino and the module name, which is DHT. Finally, we will include the dependent Arduino library here. So previously I have showed you the Grove temperature and humidity sensor GitHub repository. So here click code and click this to copy the URL and then paste here. Make sure the extension of this URL ends with .git. So now we have successfully written this JSON file. We will come back to this file with the GitHub URL once we have uploaded all these files to GitHub. If you take different ArduPy libraries, the library.json file will take the same format like this. However, the wrapper and the mod files will change slightly from module to module. So you need to keep in mind when writing the codes for the wrapper and the mod files. It's better if you visit this repository, the Seed Studio repository, and check for ArduPy. And under ArduPy you can see all the ArduPy libraries supported by the VAIO terminal. So you can go to each and every file to have a basic understanding about the three files, the JSON file, the wrapper file and the mod file. Next we will write the wrapper C++ file. So this wrapper file will be used for converting C to MicroPython code. Open VS Code again and go to File, New File, and File again, Save, and navigate to the folder you created before, the seed ArduPy DHT11 folder. Go into that folder and under file name type wrapper ArduPy DHT, and under save as type select C++ and click save. Now we will include the dependent Arduino library for the DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. So this is the name that we defined before here. This name is seed Arduino DHT, and under this we have included the dht.h file, which is this. This is the Grove temperature and humidity sensor GitHub repository, and this is the dht.h file. Next, type this. So what this will do is this will tell the compiler to use the C naming and calling conventions for everything that you include inside this. Now include the needed header files from MicroPython. Now we will write the codes to initialize the module. So here you can replace this DHT and this DHT with your module name. Now let's start mapping functions from the dht.h Arduino library. So here we will start with the initializing function. So for that, let's go to the Arduino library of the DHT11 sensor. So this is the GitHub repository for the library. And then let's go to this file, the dht.h file. And then in here, if you go down, you can see these functions. So we will be mapping these functions to the wrapper file. So the basic usage of initializing a function is like this. However, this is only applicable if there are no parameters inside the function. But for the DHT library, this DHT function has 3 parameters. So we need to approach a different method to utilize these 3 parameters. So before I move on to this, I will show you the ArduPy library for BME280. So this is the ArduPy library for BME280, and I will open the Arduino library as well. So you can see the Arduino library and the ArduPy library for BME280 sensor. And for the Arduino library, if you check the seed BME280.h file, and in here the BME280 doesn't have any parameters. So if you check the wrapper file for this, so you can see for the initializing function, it's written like this because there are no parameters inside this function. So this is the basic method of writing the initializing function. So now I have come back to the wrapper file, and here I have opened the Arduino library for the DHT11 sensor. So here I am inside the dht.h file inside this library, and if you go down, as I have shown you before, these are the functions. So this is the initializing function, and it takes 3 parameters as I have told you before. So let's modify this code. So after this, let's add, so this is initializing function to create an object. And after this, let's add an if loop, then cut this code and paste it here. So here also I will make some changes. So inside this, type pin, type and count. So I will comment here. So what this will do is, if count is not equal to -1, the count parameter will be passed in. And after this, let's add an else and copy this and paste it inside the else statement. And in here, delete the count. So if count is equal to -1, don't pass in count parameter. So actually this count parameter is defined here. So this count parameter is used to detect the CPU speed. So let's go back to the functions, and here you can see begin, void begin. So what we will do is, we'll write dht.begin. So that is to start the sensor. So after having the initializing function, it's common to have a deinitializing function. So let's write that also. So here you can change this DHT and DHT, all these DHTs to your module name. Next we will move on to this function, the read temperature function. So copy this and paste it here and change this D init to temperature and change this to next we will move on to humidity. So copy this and paste it here and change this to humidity and change read temperature to read humidity. I'm sorry, these shouldn't be void, they should be float. So I will change to float, and this should also be a float. Finally, we will include this convert C to F, which converts the Celsius values into Fahrenheit values. So copy this and paste it here and change this to C to F, and after this add a parameter, because this takes in a parameter, so it's in the form of float. And let's type C here. So this should be dht dot So now we have successfully written the wrapper file for this ArduPy library. Finally, let's write the mod file for this ArduPy library. So this contains the core code for converting C to MicroPython code. Now open the VS Code IDE that we used before and go to File, select New File and go to File again and click Save. And choose the original folder that we created, the seed ArduPy DHT11 folder, and inside the file name type mod ArduPy DHT, and inside save as type select C and click save. So first let's go back to our wrapper file and copy these header files and paste here. So these are the needed header files from MicroPython. Then you need to include the previously defined functions from the wrapper file. So go to wrapper and copy this first function, the initializing function, and paste it here. Next, copy the deinitializing function, paste after this. So make sure to add a semicolon here, as well. And next, copy this, paste and add semicolon, and then copy for humidity, paste here, semicolon, and finally copy this function and paste, and finally add a semicolon. After that, declare the initial module type. Next, we need to initialize the module, and this is the basic usage of initializing the module. So here you can change DHT into your module name, and this 0 represents the number of parameters inside the function. So in this case, they are set to 0. So I have showed you before that DHT function takes 3 parameters. So before I explain you how to use 3 parameters to initialize the module, I will go through 2 examples. One is to show you without parameters, and another is to show with 1 parameter. So inside the Seeed Studio repository, if you type BME280, you can open the Arduino library and the ArduPy library. Now if we check the .h file, seedbme280.h file, and compare with this mod file of the ArduPy library, we can see that this is the module initialization for this function with no parameters. So here you can see it's 0, 0, which means no parameters, and this is the simplest way of writing for the initialization of the module. Now let's check for the ultrasonic distance sensor. So ultrasonic, so this is the Arduino library, and type ultrasonic here again and open the ArduPy library. So open this ultrasonic.h and let's open the mod file inside the ArduPy library. So here you can see this function takes 1 parameter. And to initialize this module, these codes are written. So the initialization module for the DHT11 sensor in our mod file will also take the same format like this. So let's go back to our mod file and start writing for the initialization of the module. So here inside the anonymous enumeration, let's write the 3 parameters: pin, type and count. So here the default value, which is the count, will be 1. Then copy this and paste it below and paste it again. Change this to type and change this to count. Then type these codes. So here is the number of parameters passed. So can be 2 or 3, because if we go back to our wrapper file, you can see that in this condition it's passing all 3 parameters, and under this condition it's passing only 2 parameters. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, if you go all the way up, under the header files, include this library, pyobj.h. Also here, you should have a comma after the curly bracket. So type the following codes. And here we will define a number as float data type. Then let's load the attributes. Here this temperature will be used later for ArduPi calling. So which means we will just type dht.temperature to get the temperature reading from the DHT sensor using ArduPi. So here make sure the MicroPython float type and the data type for this number, which is also float, should match with each other. So here will be the same as this. You can use dht.humidity to get the humidity information from the DHT11 sensor using ArduPi. So here is the same, the MicroPython float type should be same as the data type for this number. So now we have written the object attributes for the temperature and the humidity. But however, when you want to write the object attributes for the C2F function, which is this function, we need to use a different method because this takes a parameter. So let's go ahead and write that. So here C2F will be the ArduPi calling. So you can just type dht.c2f inside ArduPi to convert Celsius values into Fahrenheit values. Next, let's define a lookup table. So these are the instance methods. So I will start by writing for D init. Next I will write for enter. So I will just copy this and paste it here and make some modifications. Then we will write for exit. So copy and paste, then do some modifications. And finally, we will add the C2F function into the lookup table. Because every time you write object attributes for functions that take parameters like this, you need to include them inside the lookup table. So let's just copy this first. and paste it here. And finally add this line of code. So now let's go ahead and define the initial module type. So type the following codes. I'm sorry, here should be table, not tables, should be table. And also here there should be another understroke, and here another one. Keep these as 2 understrokes, but for these add one more understroke. So now we have successfully written the mod file for this ArduPy library. So far we have completed writing the library.json file, the mod.c file and the wrapper.c++ file. So these 3 files are the minimum requirement for an ArduPy library to function. So what we will do now is we will upload these 3 files to GitHub. So open GitHub by following github.com and click sign up if you don't have a GitHub account already. But if you have an account already, just sign in to your account. After that, click new and type the repository name that you want, and then click create repository and click this upload an existing file, and then drag these 3 files and drop them here. After that, click commit changes. So now you have successfully uploaded your files into GitHub. So previously I told you that we will come back to the library.json file to complete this ArduPy URL. So let's go back to the root directory and select code and click this to get the URL of this GitHub repository. And then click library.json and click this to edit this file, and in here press Ctrl+V on the keyboard to paste the URL and click commit changes. So now we are ready to use this library with ArduPy. Open command prompt and we will be installing this ArduPy library using the ArduPy AIP tool. So I have explained to you in my previous video, the video number 5 of the Bioterminal Classroom with ArduPy video series, on how to set up ArduPy AIP on the computer. So you can go back to that video first to learn more about setting up ArduPy AIP on your computer. So here on this computer I have already installed the AIP tool. So just need to call AIP install and then copy this URL, paste it and type /archive/main.zip. So we need to include this bit because by default AIP can only install from the master branch. But if your files are inside the main branch, then make sure to add /archive/main.zip and then press enter to download this library. After that, type AIP list to check whether this library is installed or not. So you can see this library is successfully installed. Now let's build the ArduPy firmware including this library. So there are 2 ways of building firmware. One way is to write AIP build board equals, so in this case we are using Bioterminal, so type Bioterminal, and this way is only needed when the Bioterminal is not connected to the computer. But if the wire terminal is already connected to the computer, you can simply type AIP build and press enter. Finally, type AIP flash to flash this firmware into the wire terminal. So now we have successfully flashed the ArduPi firmware into the wire terminal. Now let's go ahead and test this library on the wire terminal. So let's enter REPL environment by typing AIP shell -c and then REPL. After that, inside REPL, include the Grove DHT library by typing. After that, create a variable DHT and equal to Grove DHT, and the values here, the first number should be the pin which is 0, the pin which the DHT11 sensor is connected to the wire terminal and connected to D0, and next will be the DHT type which is 11 in this case. Press enter and type DHT dot and press tab on the keyboard, and you will see the available functions for the DHT. So we have defined inside the ArduPi library temperature, humidity and C2F. So let's try temperature. So DHT.temperature and type enter, and this is the temperature value. If you try DHT.humidity and press enter, this will be the humidity value. And finally, let's try DHT.C2F and type a Celsius value. So for example, let's type 30. So 30 degrees Celsius is equal to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So we can clearly see that this ArduPi library is successfully working with the wire terminal. Now I will show you a demo of displaying the temperature and humidity information from the DHT11 sensor on the wire terminal LCD screen. However, I will not walk you through the code for this demo because I have done similar demos in my previous videos and done the code walkthroughs in those videos. So I will share the code for this demo inside the video description so that you can also copy this code and paste onto the wire terminal and run it. While the wire terminal is still connected to the PC, go into the ArduPi drive and open main.py file. After that, copy this code and paste it inside the main.py file. Then click File and Save. That's it for this video. If you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with us. So, see you all for now.